Attention passionate Chicago, BEARS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago, BEARS. Let's get to the news. The buzz around the NFL lately has been all about a potential blockbuster move that could seriously shake up the NFC North, and more specifically, give the Chicago Bears a major boost heading into the stretch run of the season. Rumors are swirling that the Bears might be on the brink of acquiring Jessie Bates, the talented safety from the Atlanta Falcons, in what could be a game-changing trade. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, another trade. But hold on, this one could be different. This isn't just about adding another player, it's about addressing a critical need on the Bears' defense and potentially flipping the momentum of the entire division. Let's set the scene here. The Falcons, sitting at 3-7, are in a full rebuild mode. They're trading assets left and right, clearing cap space and focusing on the future rather than trying to sneak into the playoffs this year. Atlanta is struggling defensively, giving up an average of nearly 30 points per game, and their secondary is showing cracks, especially with some injuries. Jessie Bates, a 28-year-old safety, has been a bright spot for Atlanta, a real playmaker with a knack for making game-changing plays. His ability to read the field, anticipate passes, and come up with interceptions makes him one of the top safeties in the league. Reports suggest that the Falcons are willing to part ways with Bates in exchange for a third-round pick and a conditional pick, which could turn into something more depending on his performance and the Bears' success. This move makes sense for Atlanta. They're clearing cap space, removing a big ticket from their books, and focusing on young talent and draft capital. But for the Bears, this could be a golden opportunity. Remember, Chicago's secondary has been hit hard by injuries lately. Jaylon Johnson is currently on IR with a groin injury, Kyler Gordon is coming back from a calf injury, and Tyreek Stevenson is also out with a calf issue. That leaves the Bears vulnerable, especially against teams that love to take deep shots down the field. Adding Bates into the mix could be a total game changer. At 28, Bates isn't just a stopgap. He's a proven elite-level safety who reads the game like a veteran oracle. His stats back it up. He's been phenomenal in coverage with a PFF grade of 89.5 this season. Over his career, he's accumulated 22 interceptions, and his ball hawk rate is impressive, around 15%, which has generated over 32 turnovers. That's exactly what the Bears need right now to elevate their defense and create more scoring opportunities for their offense, especially when you consider how many passes the Bears are giving up downfield lately. Bates' presence could significantly reduce that. What's even more compelling is his projected impact. If he joins the Bears, analysts believe that his addition could bring about an increase of around 6 interceptions over the remainder of the season. Plus, his ability to reduce opposing passing yards by about 15% could really tighten up the secondary. That's crucial because Chicago's defense has been leaking points, allowing around 27 points per game. And to compete in this division, you need to shore up those weak spots. Now, let's talk about the numbers. Bates' 2025 stats are solid. He's played 10 games with 42 solo tackles, 20 assists, and 3 interceptions. His coverage grade remains elite, and he has minimal injury issues this season, having played 94% of the snaps. His durability has been impressive since 2022, with no major setbacks or concussion issues. The Bears could see his signing as a low-cost move, around $6 million in cap space, which they could manage easily through some clever roster maneuvers and draft picks. The reasoning behind Atlanta's decision is pretty straightforward. With their 3-7 record, they're focusing on the future. They're also trying to reset their cap situation, paying out $18 million this year for Bates, and aren't in a position to extend him right now. The Falcons are also allowing nearly 30 points per game, which puts a lot of pressure on their offense to keep up. Their pass rush isn't creating enough sacks either, allowing 32 sacks so far, so they're looking to rebuild the entire defense. For the Bears, this potential acquisition isn't just about filling a positional need. It's about transforming the entire secondary and creating a domino effect that could elevate the team's overall performance. Think about it. Adding Bates could lead to around 15 more turnovers for Chicago in the second half of the season. That's huge. especially considering how crucial turnovers are in close games. The more the Bears force opponents into mistakes, the better their chances to turn those into wins and climb the standings. This move also aligns with the Bears' broader strategy of building a competitive roster around their young quarterback, Caleb Williams. The team's offense has been promising, especially with Williams showing flashes of brilliance, but their defense needs that extra edge. A player like Bates could provide leadership, experience, and playmaking ability that could help the Bears not just compete now, but set up a solid foundation for the future. Looking at the division, this move could be a real game changer. The Packers, Lions, and Vikings are all fighting hard, but if the Bears can bolster their secondary with a veteran like Bates, their defense could take a huge step forward. That, in turn, would make Chicago a much more formidable team in the second half of the season, especially when it comes to key matchups. The NFC North is already one of the most competitive divisions in football, and this kind of move could be what pushes the Bears over the top. From a strategic standpoint, the Bears could even use Bates to help elevate their third-down defense, which has been inconsistent at times. His ability to cover tight ends and read the quarterback's intentions makes him an ideal fit for Chicago's scheme. Plus, his experience in high-pressure situations, 3 Pro Bowls and a reputation as a ball hawk, means he'll be a vocal leader in the locker room and on the field. Of course, there are skeptics. Some analysts argue that trading away draft picks now might hurt the Bears in the long run, especially if they're focusing on a complete rebuild. But with a young quarterback like Caleb Williams, the Bears need to strike while the iron is hot. A veteran playmaker like Bates could be the piece that turns a promising team into a playoff contender, especially if he helps reduce the big plays opponents have been generating against Chicago. Now, looking ahead, the impact of this potential move could be felt all the way into Super Bowl LX. If Bates joins the Bears, it could boost their odds significantly, from around +20 to +8 according to some betting sites. That's a massive jump, and it's not just about the regular season. It's about setting a tone for playoff success, building confidence, and giving the Bears a real shot at making a deep run. His presence could be the X factor that takes Chicago from a fringe contender to a team nobody wants to face come January. And let's not forget the division implications. The Bears could use Bates to neutralize the Packers' secondary, which has been one of their strengths, and challenge the Lions and Vikings even more. With an improved secondary, Chicago would have a better chance to contain their division rivals' top receivers and force mistakes, turning the tide in their favor. This isn't just about one player. It's about shifting the entire power dynamic in the NFC North. So, in conclusion, this potential trade for Jessie Bates III is shaping up to be one of the most exciting developments for the Bears this season. It's a bold move, a calculated gamble that could pay off big time. With the team needing a boost in the secondary, especially with injuries mounting, Bates could be the veteran leader and playmaker that Chicago desperately needs to elevate their defense and make a serious playoff push. The city of Chicago has been eager for a spark, and this move could be the one that ignites their hopes for a deep postseason run, and who knows, maybe even another shot at NFL glory. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Jessie Bates is the missing piece that could take Chicago to the next level? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.